What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get the impossible appointment. Would you like to get Bill Gates on the telephone? Okay, the President of the United States. A couple of you not really that thrilled about that idea. Okay. Whoever it is, the impossible appointment, and by the time I'm done, you're going to go, yep, I can see why that guy can get anybody on the telephone. Anybody. I've had 60 Fortune 500 clients. These are the techniques that I used. They're hard-earned over a long career. And it's fun for the right kind of person. But I'm going to fill you with the right kind of energy and the right kind of attitude. So, I just upstaged myself. So, the whole objective of this session is to get around this guy right here, the notorious gatekeeper. What's cool is that in most cases, you're only one person away from the most important people in the world. Usually, it's just one person. I had always wanted to do writing. Remember I said I didn't have any hobbies? It's because all my hobbies have turned into business. So I love music, and then my daughter became an artist, and so now I'm managing her career. She's on her third album, her third music video. She just won Music Video of the Year. Thank you. Yep. She's a Grammy rep for USC, which out of 40,000 students, she became the single representative they chose to represent the Grammys. And since she became the Grammy rep, the membership for Grammy in her college has grown 1,000%. So whose daughter are we talking about here? No, I'm just kidding. No, come on, if you're a parent, you got to be a little, AmandaHolmes.com. As long as you're asking. AmandaHolmes.com. Anyway, yeah, she's a real star, she's a real beauty, and got a killer voice, and but more importantly, she's got a wonderful personality. She's happy, and so that's turned into a business. And then I've always wanted to write, and so I retired at 40 years old, and I took 2 years off, and I wrote a movie. And then when it was time to sell it, I cold called and got 9 out of the 11 top studio executives on the telephone in a week. We're talking, at the time, Michael Eisner, head of Disney, the head of Paramount, Sherry Lansing, Warner Brothers, like 11 of the top studio executives on the phone in a week. So all the tricks that I've used are all in this module. And I'm not cold calling anymore, obviously, because I can almost get to anybody in the world now. But there was a time when, these were the tricks that I used. So that's what we're going to cover, all right? So we're going to create or improve outbound marketing efforts with the telephone as the ultimate weapon. So even if, again, you're just a website business, and how many people are just 100% website? Okay? So for you guys, it's all going to be about affiliate strategies and potentially best buyer strategies. So using the telephone, sell to businesses by phone, sell to consumers by phone, getting the dream affiliates for you guys who are web-based. Use the telephone to get business appointments. Use the phone to drive the best buyers into your retail store. And we're going to be covering your voice, your tone, your attitude, and your technique. And all of these things are important. So let's start right away with the voice. The first thing you should know is that deeper is better. The deeper your voice, the more of the relaxing tonal quality, not my opinion, studies show, you establish a higher level of rapport when you have a deeper voice. Same thing for women. So let me just imitate her. What about women? What about women? Right? Deeper is better, even for a woman. I used to have a vice president work for me, and she'd be like, it's this in the office. She'd get on the phone. Hi, this is Deborah. She dropped her voice a whole octave. So deeper is definitely better, and it establishes a higher level of credibility. And I have a deep voice, and I've had it since I'm like 14 years old. So when I was like 14 years old, I used to call in sick for myself, Calling, Chet Holmes will not be in for school today. He's not feeling well. And then one time the office person said, he's missed a lot of school. Does Mrs. Holmes work? You mean my mom? Well, they got caught, Kind of blew it there. Then they sent the person to the house to find out why I was missing so much school. So your tonality actually has 5 times more impact than the words that you use. And not consciously, but subconsciously, the prospect's subconscious picks up every subtle nuance of your tonality. Every subtle nuance. So Jeffrey, you're home, and the phone rings, and you answer it, hello, and the person goes, yes, good evening, is this Jeffrey Hall? What do you already know? Salesperson. Didn't say a word, right? Or the person says, and he's right away, yeah. You know, he's like ready to brush you off in 5 seconds. He can already tell it's a salesperson. Or the voice says, yeah, good evening, is this Jeffrey Hall? And you go, yeah. You know, it's the police, obviously. You know, right? His kid got in a car accident, something's wrong, you know. So the tonality of your voice, and again, consciously, he's not saying, wow, this guy sounds important, but subconsciously, it's 5 times, go back to the graph, 5 times more impact on him than the words I'm actually using. So you need to understand that to have authority, you end on the down note. So to, you know, good evening, is this Jeffrey Hall? Good evening, is this Jeffrey Hall? You see the difference? When you go up like this at the end, you sound like a salesperson. And the one that kills me is this Jeffrey Hall? Yeah. How you doing today? I tell my salespeople, don't ask people how you doing today, because you sound like a salesperson. I never say to anybody, and when I was cold calling and trying to get, you know, get Michael Eisner on the telephone, when he got on the phone, I go, how are you doing today? Yeah, Michael, hi, this is Chet Holmes, right to business. I want him to feel the authority of that thing in the first 5 seconds. So all of you salespeople, will you please stop saying, how are you doing today? Just drop it from your vocabulary. That's as bad as, thank you for your business, or thank you for your time, okay? Ending on the up note tells them you're a salesperson. Practice sounding like a newscaster. They are trained to have authority. Mr. Jones, Hugh Downs. Okay, so who wants to practice this with me? Somebody volunteer, okay? Right there, the gentleman, easy to get to. Okay, so what I want you to say is, Chet Holmes, asking me the question, and then give me your name. And I want you to sound like a newscaster.
Chet Holmes, Jay Mangrum.
Really good. I did not expect that deep voice to come out of you. Let's hear what you really talk like. So, give me back the mic. Just hear your normal voice.
This is my actual voice, Chet.
Wow, what a difference, right? That was great. Anybody else? Let's get a woman. Get a woman right here in the front. Just taking the ones that are easy to get to.
Chet Holmes, Brenda Fonner.
Very good, right? Excellent. Okay, great. So you want to practice having the authority of investigating detective. Shirley, this is Detective Smith. Is Bill Jones in? I cannot tell you how many gatekeepers I blow around just by having that kind of authority in my voice. Seriously. Now, I will tell you, just so you don't get any stupid ideas, not to actually say you're a detective. Because that's called impersonating a police officer, and you can get in a lot of trouble for it. Although when I was younger and didn't know that, I have to admit, might have used it a few times. Only to get information. When I was in the personnel business, you couldn't get the name of the personnel director. So you're cold calling these big companies and you say, yes, what's the name of your personnel director? And they go, is this an agency? Never lie. Yeah. And they go, I'm sorry, we don't have any openings. Click. And they train all the reception people, like CBS television, you're calling in there, right? They have, 200 operators, and they say, we don't have any openings. They have 40 openings that day, brand new ones. So they just hung up on you constantly, and they probably made a game of it and had fun with it. So when I was younger, again, before I knew that was illegal, and then somebody once told me it was, I used to call up and go, yeah, this is Sergeant John Wackton, New York City Police Department. We're running a special program right now, and I need to know the name of your personnel director. That would be Mary Johnson. Would you like her direct dial? Yes, I would. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll be calling her later. Click, and I'm going to hang up. And I would do like 100 of those to get the names, and then I would call in later and just ask for Mary Johnson, and I go right around the first line of scrimmage, right? In the personnel business, you have 3 lines of scrimmage. You have the front-end reception, then you have the receptionist for the department, then you have her personal assistant. So you had to be like so clever, and you're going to see all the stuff I developed just to get around all those people. So the first 10 seconds make the difference between success and failure, and confidence is key. A tone of recognition is also very strong. So if you say, and again, this is subtle. So if I go, again, I'll pick Jeffrey just because he's the only one I can read his name badge. And it's, if I go like this, Jeffrey Hall, Chet Holmes. Doesn't it sound like I know him? It's subtle, guys, but in his subconscious, it says I know him. Even if he doesn't know me, as compared to Jeffrey Hall, hi, this is Chet Holmes. That sounds like there's more to come because I haven't explained who I am. So if I just say it with a little bit of tone of recognition, as if he should know who I am, his subconscious says, wow, I should know who this is. And it warms him to me faster. You understand? It's not a conscious thing. So Jeffrey Hall, Chet Holmes. Oh, Chet, how you doing? Who the hell are you? You know? The other thing you want to do is pace their rhythm. So if you have someone who's, from the South and talking real slow and like this, and you come on and you talk like this, and if you order now, well, slices, it dices, Katie, K-Tel Records, blah, blah, blah. The guy's going to go like, won't even understand you. Same thing if you have a person who talks really fast and you're talking really slow, you make them crazy, okay? So you want to pace their rhythm, but that said, you don't want to let anybody rush you. So you get that guy where you call him up, yeah, hi. And what happens is salespeople, when they get rushed, they turn into a salesperson, their voice starts to go up. So you call, yeah, hi, this is Chet Holmes, and I'm calling, I'm calling about our training program, and it's a really great training program, and and I really think you would like it, and and if you're too busy, I'll just call back later. It's okay, bye. But that's what happens. Their voice just goes right up to that upper register. So what I've done is I've actually stopped that guy right there. And I'll say, look, and watch the tonality of my voice. I'll say, look, this is going to take 2 minutes. It's going to be very important to your company. And if now's not a good time, I can see you're rushing me. Just call him on it. I can see you're rushing me. So if this is not a good time, tell me when it is, and I'll call you back. Well, if it only takes 2 minutes, go ahead. And they just calm right down. And now you can take 5 minutes. They give you 2, you can take 5. But I have made the call where I go, look, I can tell you're rushing me. And it was the president of Hilton Hotels. I can tell you're rushing me, and this is going to take 2 minutes. It's going to be very important for your company, so if now's not a good time. He says, well, I'm standing in front of a room of people right now. My secretary said it was important, so I got on the phone with you, but I am a little busy right now. Okay, no problem. See you later. Standing in front of an entire room of people like this. But I had that tone of urgency or authority or importance, and when you're calling the biggest people in the world, who calls them? The biggest people in the world. So if you have the right authority to your voice, you will be astonished. You will be amazed. I've made cold calls, and Michael Eisner, yeah, hi, is Michael there? This is Chet Holmes. Hold on one moment, please. Yeah, this is Michael Eisner. No shit? I mean, just like that. It's like, are you kidding me? I thought it would take at least 3 months to get you on the telephone. Kind of blew it from there, Went downhill after that, Or better, no shit, So don't let them rush you, call them on it. And again, I told you over the last couple days, we have a lot of people calling in, and our biggest challenge is get that busy guy to shut up and listen to us. So we've got all these pieces of the script that are designed just to stop that guy from trying to rush us. So your attitude is really important, right? Because they're going to read it on you no matter what you're saying. You understand that? Yes. They will hear your confidence or your lack of it. So you got to be really confident when you get that person on the phone, because if you're not, they're going to hear it. And the main attitude you need to have when you wrap your hand around the neck of that phone and pull it up to your face is, I'm going to get what I want to get. You just have to have that, where you're just going to get what you want to get. It's the attitude, and then you're going to help them whether they like it or not. Go ahead, make my day. Try to hang up on me. Did I fire 6 shots? No. Anyway, so you want to be extremely confident. And I found for my purposes that if I get on the phone with the attitude that I'm going to get what I'm going after, no matter what, that I have a massive amount of success by comparison to, I'm not sure, I don't know if this is going to work out, boy, I'll just try this. You understand the difference? Yes. And they're hearing that difference. So self-esteem is crucial. That's why you want to hire that type with that personality. Not that you can't train people, but you know, there's tricks too, and I'm going to get into them. So attitude is more important than what you say because the prospect's subconscious hears your confidence or your lack of it. So here's a great exercise. Before you pick up that phone to get those CEOs of the biggest companies in the world on the telephone, you do a 1-minute visualization. This comes from the 1-Minute Sales Manager. It says, close your eyes and count backwards from 5, relaxing more with each exhale. Why do you want to do that? Because as you relax, what happens is your brain waves slow down. So your brain is going like this normally, and if you count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, your brain relaxes and it becomes more susceptible to autosuggestion or to visualization. So you visualize the prospect being happy to take your call. Notice who the focus is on in the beginning. It's on the prospect, not on you. That's coming though, okay? So you visualize them being happy to take your call. You visualize them being happy after your call, feeling like they benefit in some way. They got something they wanted to get. And then you visualize yourself feeling great. Yes! Now if you do that little exercise right before you pick up the phone, you're going to be a little stronger, right? Okay, this exercise will dramatically boost your confidence right before you make the phone call, and even as much as I've done it, as good as I am at it, I have still found myself doing that when I'm calling Michael Eisner. Okay, selling to the business by phone, you want to create a vehicle that enables you to build rapport. A survey, an e-zine, a strong promise, a piggyback relationship, core story offer, a free offer. So this is a really killer strategy, by the way, that I've used many times with hundreds of clients, is the survey and the e-zine tied together. Any one of you can start a magazine. Any one of you can become a publisher today. And the beauty is you never have to print anything because you can have it on your website. And let's pick somebody here. What's your business? Let's get a mic up here. What business are you in?
Labels, primarily.
Okay, so you're in labels, right? And who do you normally sell to? What
Small
level?
businesses to mid-sized companies who have products.
Level of executive?
Either the owner or the purchaser, generally.
Okay, so let's see. And what's the broader term of what you do? It's labels, but if you were...
It's really, I guess, packaging, if you want to look at it.
So it's image enhancement?
Absolutely, because we even do their boxes in addition. Those are add-ons.
Yeah, so it could be a total...
Total product package.
Right, so you start something like Upgrade Your Image magazine. Just throwing out ideas, just to give you guys the idea. So he starts something that's called Upgrade Your Image magazine with Upgrade Your Image magazine. And you could sit down. And I just needed to get some fodder to work with here. So he calls up his potential clients. He says, yeah, I'm with Upgrade Your Image magazine, and we're doing our annual survey. And let's say that, I'm sorry, your name again?
Oh, Eddie Torp.
Eddie, sorry. So Eddie's got maybe, how many salespeople do you have?
I actually have no
5 after watching the session here. Okay, great. So he has 5 salespeople, and he's going to put those 5 salespeople to go and survey, let's say, 500 customers. And so over the course of several months, if you have 5 people working on it, plus the back end and what you develop, it could conceivably be said that you're going to spend $25,000 in manpower in this survey. So you want to be able to say to this person, yeah, hi, I'm with Up Your Image. That wasn't what I called it the first time, was it? Upgrade Your Image. I'm with Upgrade Your Image magazine, and that's a terrible name, but you know. So if you called from Upgrade Your Image magazine, and we're doing our annual survey, and I'm going to ask you a couple of quick questions about the total image of your company. And the results of the survey should yield some pretty fantastic information that will help you improve your business. And it's going to cost us $25,000 to conduct this survey. If you just answer 3 or 4 questions for us, then I'll be happy to give you the results of the survey for nothing. Guys, write that down. Seriously. If this is, every one of you could use this as a way to build a little rapport with a client. So I'm calling from XYZ magazine, and we're doing a survey that will help companies do what? right? Their company do something, help companies upgrade their image. And this is the structure of the opening salvo. And the survey is going to cost about $25,000 to conduct. Or if you're a bigger company, it could cost a hell of a lot more if you put more people on it. And as a result of the survey, if you participate and you answer just 3 questions, 5 questions, whatever the questions are, and if you participate in the survey, I'm going to give you the results of the survey, no charge. That sounds like you're going to charge everybody else for it, which you may or may not. That's up to you, because if you get really good data, you probably could sell it. So, and all you have to do is answer 3 questions. And usually the answer you will get, 7 out of 10 times, is, what's the questions? Let me hear them. What are they? 3 questions. What are they? Okay? So then in his case, he would say, all right, our first question has to do with total packaging. When you send out a product to a client, does it completely contain image? Like everything from the box to the label to the internal contents, the way it's packaged, is it a complete and total image that you're representing when you come across to that client? No. You know, you're going to get answers like that where they have no idea. And I'm just making that question up, but it's not a bad one, right? So you want 2 or 3 other questions like that, and then at the end of the question you say, okay, that's great, and you know, as a way to thank you, I'm going to get you that survey information, but also we have a free report on how you could upgrade your image because it sounds like you could really use that. Would you be interested in that? Yeah, okay. Hey, just curious, and now you want to try and build yourself into a conversation. Do you understand? So as long as you're serving the client, you know, the strategist will slaughter the tactician. That's the strategist. Tactician says, I want to sell you labels, sucker. You know? Strategist says, oh, wait, I want to build a little rapport. I want to have a way to get into a conversation. I want to gently ease my way into this guy's life. I want to try and serve him. I want to find out if I can help him. So a survey is a killer concept. Yes?
Should I actually bring up labelchoices.com at all
Once you get to this point and they're interested, because then that's kind of sales. That's my question.
See, he wants to go right into selling. He can't help himself, which I admire and respect.
Yeah.
But it has to be subtle. So what you do is you'd want to have a diagnostic with the client. You'd want to have something you could give them for free. You want to say to them, look, and this is where you hire the 5 salespeople because it's going to change your whole life.
Yeah, I will.
Know?
I just got to learn how to do it, but I'm doing it.
Okay. So, but he could say, look, you know, it sounds like you could really upgrade your image. Where do you get your labels now? Oh, I get them at so-and-so. Okay, well, you know what? The reason we started this magazine is because we find a lot of guys like you, they don't have this information. By the way, do you have to publish the information? Yes. People go, no. Yes. If you say it, you got to do it. Okay? You have to come from a place of integrity. But today, it can be on your website, our eZine annual survey, and there you are. You can even go back to the guy and say, hey, we're putting up the survey. Do you mind if I publish your answers? Yeah. Do you want your picture? Hell yeah. You end up surveying, you have the answers with the guy's pictures. Then you can send them to your website, and they go and click on and look at your picture. I'm showing you what a strategist does. That's why they slaughter a tactician. You come against me in the war of business, and I'm going to flatten you because I'm going to make everything I do work harder, smarter, better, easier, faster. That's what you want to be, the ultimate strategist. So that's a great approach. Also starting with a strong promise, which I'm going to give you some ideas. Piggyback relationship. So now Tony and I have merged to form this alliance called Business Mastery. And some of you watching at home will have gotten a call at one point that says, I'm calling on behalf of Tony Robbins. Is that going to help us when we call his fans? Would the answer be heck yes? Okay. So you create tools. So can you get a strong relationship? Who can you get who you can piggyback on? And I'm going to give you some obscure answers that you won't believe how well they'll work, like a dry cleaner. And you're like, I'm going to piggyback on a dry cleaner? Yeah, because they have the phone numbers of the people you want to talk to, and you can't get them, right? And do not call list means you can't even call them unless you have an excuse or a reason, right? So I'll show you all kinds of ways to get around. The strategist is going to outthink the tactician every time. Create tools to help you sell, mini orientations, drawings, diagrams, paint visual images. So let's see, who's on that call with me and the president of CBS? Is it Andy in here? No, he isn't in here. So I was on the phone this past week, right before coming to this, with the president of CBS, and I had this guy drawing pictures. This is after I engaged him, but I said, let me show you, would you like to learn right now in this conversation how to double, possibly triple or quadruple your appointment setting? Yeah. Okay, got a piece of paper? Do this. Pretend we're on the phone. Piece of paper, everybody? Okay, draw a pyramid. Pretend we're on the phone. What I want you to do is draw a line dissecting through about the top 3% of that pyramid. Just draw a little line dissecting through the top percentage of that pyramid. And next to that 3%, I want you to write buying now. What that pyramid represents, I won't give you his name because there's like 6 different presidents of 6 different divisions, and just to protect the guy, but he's one of the presidents of one of the divisions involved in sales, obviously. And I said, so that pyramid represents the people who have the potential to buy advertising, but you're only going to have about 3% who at any given time, if you called 100 companies, you're only going to have 3 that would even be, in the buying now category. Would you agree with that? He goes, yeah, it's probably not even that high. I go, and then you have another 7%. Draw and 7%. And next to that, write open to it. That doesn't mean they're open to it right now. That doesn't mean there's going to be any urgency to it. That doesn't mean even if they're interested in advertising that they're going to do it with you. It just means that this is your potential market, right? Right. Okay, now I want you to take the last, you got 90% of your pyramid left, right? Do this with me, because then I want to look at your papers and see how similar they are. Now I want you to take that last 90%, I want you to draw 2 more lines forming 3 about equal chunks. Okay, you guys know where I'm going with this, right? Because I taught this, 9 days ago. Feels like that long ago, doesn't it? Okay, so hold them up. Let me see what you drew. Interesting. Okay. All right. Almost everybody drew almost the same thing. So he did too, and I walked him right through it. So what do you have like that? What do you have that you can say, you know what, to illustrate my point, draw a square. Now put a line between it and draw a line this way. In the left box, I want you to write blah, blah, blah. In the right box, I want you to write so-and-so. And I did this even when I was a Cub salesperson. Trying to explain stuff, I would have people draw a tic-tac-toe board. And they do it. And so you've got all their senses involved. Telephone can be an awesome weapon. I used to take our brochure and I used to sell, and this is like I was brand new advertising sales rep. And I would take our readership study and I would send an appointment to take them through a mini seminar. This is like early Chet stuff. I'm like 23. Cold calling Manhattan. I got a job selling advertising. And I would say, I'm going to take you through a mini seminar. We'd set the appointment for it, and I would send it and say, hold until meeting, not necessary to open. And is the average person going to bother if you say that? Hell no, I'm getting on the phone with the guy. So you can even send like a mini thing you want them to page through. They won't look through it in advance. And then I would take them through it. Endorsement from somebody they respect. Selling to consumer by phone, you must master tonality. Jeffrey Hall, how are you today? Salesperson. You never want to sound like a salesperson. Must have strong promise or other rapport vehicle. Also, it can be very helpful if you give the exact amount of time. Yeah, hi, Jeffrey. This is, Chet Holmes with the San Francisco Chronicle. And we have a proposal for you that's going to take 1.43 seconds for you to hear it. Okay, go ahead. I got 1 minute and 43 seconds. It's a really good way to get someone to give you the time, and then if they give you that time and you can engage them, you get even more time. But if the whole time they're like this, because you started with, Jeffrey Hall, good evening. Chet Holmes, how are you tonight? With the San Francisco Chronicle. Click. Hello? Gone. Yes. Mike, coming your way.
Hi, Chet. I got a question for you in reference to, I don't have a problem, I've done thousands of phone calls, but do you these days leave a message when you can't?
I'm coming to that. Obviously, voicemail is a huge factor, right? So anyone who's going to master the telephone has got to master how to use voicemail instead of how to lose from voicemail, right? So that's covered. That is covered. Can you get them involved by asking a series of questions? Have endorsement from someone they respect. Boy, I said that like 5 times. I guess that must be important. Give something free. So elements. You must get their attention quickly. A voice of authority is the way to go. Use their name, especially with a tone of recognition in it. Something intriguing, a story or reason why you're calling, but something that engages them. And then you want to unfold the information in an interesting way. Maintaining authority, very important. And you want to have a hard close. Again, we'll get into more later. So, when you don't know them, write a script with a super sincere and friendly opening. Ms. Jones, you've probably never gotten a call like this before. This is your opening salvo. Imagine, right? We'll go back to Jeffrey here. Poor Jeffrey, I'm picking on him. But yeah, hi Jeffrey. You probably have never gotten a call like this before. Are you interested? I'm just right there. I'm just saying, like, from a curiosity standpoint, you answer the phone and somebody starts off like that. You're like,